Happy New Year's, everybody. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've been pretty busy down in my workshop here, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But what I did want to show you is just before Christmas, I picked up these figures. I went to see a friend of mine. He owns a spot at the flea market, and he had these Robotech figures. I knew what they were right away as soon as I saw them, and I got this one from him for $10, and he had this one that he just gave to me. It's got some issues, but he is missing a hand here, and he's missing some part of his leg here. These were made by Matchbox back in 1985. There's a couple different versions of these figures. There's ones made in Japan, China, and I think in Hong Kong. I believe these are the Hong Kong versions. And then you have the Chinese version. I could be wrong, but I think this is the Chinese version. This is Harmony Gold. They reissued all of these Robotech figures back in 1992, so you can get them. There's a couple that they made that Matchbox didn't make, and there's a couple that Matchbox made that Harmony Gold did not make. But these are really cool figures. You can see this guy has an accessory here. These two figures are supposed to have an accessory. This guy is supposed to have a helmet and a gun, and this guy is supposed to have some kind of weapon. But I'm hoping that I can get these fixed up. And of course they've got that O-ring style, swivel arm style body to them. My favorite type of figures, and I just love the articulation and everything on them. So they're really cool. Now, I don't know much about Robotech. I don't really have much. I do have, like, I think Jetfire, I think, which kind of crosses over to Robotech back in Japan. They also crossed over, I think, over into Exo Squad too. So I already cleaned this guy up, but we have to take him apart. Hopefully I can get that screw out of there, and then we're going to rebuild this guy. So maybe give him some paint. He was actually really, really dirty. You can still see some dirt right here on that rivet on the shoulder. So I'm sure when I take this guy apart, he's going to still have some dirt on it. So we'll do some cleaning up on him too. So stick around, and we'll get into that. Get into that here in a second, but before I do, I want to show you what I've been up to. I've been really busy in the last couple weeks, which is the reason why I haven't been making a lot of repair videos. I got a couple tables here for recording videos, and I organized all of my tools and all of my supplies, all of my repair toys that I have in here. All those toys in there are repair projects. There's another one up there. Some things that I've shown in past videos, and some things that I'll be showing in new videos. But also, I put a big shelf in here because I wanted to separate my vintage toy collection with my more modern toy collection, and I also don't like having boxes taking up space in my vintage room. So we've got some Dune and D&D figures and all my classifieds, all the boxes that I like to keep, and more projects down here. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
10 years ago, a gigantic space battle fortress of unknown origin blasted through a warp fold in hyperspace and crash-landed on Earth. Alerted to the threat of invasion from space, the people of Earth united to learn the secrets of the mysterious ship's advanced technology.
There, that's better. I got all that mud out of there. I hope it was mud anyway, but that's all cleaned up much better now. So to find a hand for this figure, I went into my broken figure parts kind of bin. And I think this is Countdown, I think, and he's got a broken arm, but I do have the arm here, and I guess I probably could glue that back on, but this is a perfect opportunity for me to use his hand for this Robotech hand, and I think it's going to look really good. It's roughly the same shape. It is the same color, maybe a little bit yellowed, but I think that will fit on there really good. So I'm just going to cut this hand off, and we'll glue that back on. We're going to do the pin method, so we're going to just drill a hole into here and into the hand, and we'll glue that together like that. I wish that hand was a little bit whiter. The cool thing about this figure, even though it was really, really dirty at the beginning, was that it's actually not yellowed now that it's been cleaned. It's actually pretty good. So I'll put this guy back in the junk bin. You never know when I might find another arm, and then I can make him whole again, or maybe just use his parts for something else. Here's the new hand I have here. Turned out pretty good. It's a little bit bigger than the original one, but you'll never notice that on display on my shelf. So next we have to fix this torso here. You can see that the side of it is broken, and I'm just going to put a piece of styrene in there. I have some really thin styrene, and I'm just going to cut this from right across here and then file this on a 90-degree angle, put a piece of styrene in there, and hopefully shape it to make it look like this side. Now, this stripe is raised, so I'll take some really thin styrene and continue that stripe down the center of the leg there. So let's do that. Alright, that's a good start to that. I'm going to let that dry overnight, and I'll come back tomorrow and I'll start to shape that, and then we can paint it to match the plastic that I plastic welded it to. Yes, I used plastic weld for this. I wasn't sure if it was going to stick to this, but I think it's going to stick just fine. And of course, this is round, quite round. So I tried to bend this so that it would go round with the shape of the hip, but I don't know. I'm just gonna give this another little blast of this, and hopefully it sticks there hard enough that it will stay and be strong. And then I can file it to match the shape. There, with a little bit of sanding and filing, and I use this. This is like 600 grit sandpaper just to get rid of all the file marks and some shaping there. I think I have a nice repair there. It looks really, really good. Now I am going to paint the line in there. I was going to actually use some of this like really, really, really thin, almost like paper thin styrene, and create that line. But the line here about right where it broke off, it's actually almost flush with the plastic right here. It's above this part here, but when you get down to here, it's almost flush with that part. So I'm just going to paint that in, and I think it'll look perfect. So I'm going to get some paint colors here and mix some blue and some off-white here to match the pants. And also I'm going to get some red here. I want to fix the red on the butt, and I got some black. It's not too bad here. Actually, the paint isn't bad everywhere, to tell you the truth. I'm just going to do some touch-ups, really. So for the white, I'm using some white Vallejo paints and demonic yellow. Just a drop of this is all you need. Just a little tiny bit, just to tint that white to the yellowish white. And this is what I got here. You can see it's pretty close. And that's my repair for that. I just now have to paint the blue. Now for the blue, I'm going to be using this blue here, Deco Art Satin True Blue. And this might be a little too dark, but usually it's pretty close to the blues that I always try to get. So I'm going to try this, and if I have to add a little white to it, I will. I'll show you my color palettes here. For the red, I got lucky and just used this Deco Art lipstick, and it's the exact color that's on this figure. For the black, I just use plain Vallejo black. And next, I'm going to do the gray watch here. So I'm just going to use a little white and a little bit of black, and hopefully I'll get the color I'm looking for. And that'll be it. Then we'll put it all together. So the old O-ring is not bad. I could probably still use it, but I'm going to put in a new one, nice and fresh, and that way it won't break in the next little while. So it'll be nice and tight joints and everything. So I did put some satin varnish on these figures after the paint dried, and then this afternoon while I was waiting for the paint dry, I got on my marketplace and found some really cool figures, and I'm going to show you what those are right here. We've got some Love Boat figures. These are 3 3/4 inch. They came out around 1981. We've got Gopher, Isaac, and we've got Doc here. And these are really cool. I got a really good price. I think I got them for about $12 a piece when we figured out, how much it was altogether. So about 12, 13 bucks a piece. And that was a great deal. They're actually in really good condition. They're pretty clean. And the paint is really good. And I'm happy to have these in the collection. There is 3 more. There's Julie and Captain Stubing, and what was the other girl's name? I think Vicky or something like that. So there's 3 more. Now, unfortunately, these 2 figures, they had hats, but that they came with, but they don't have the hats here. And I did pick this guy up, and one of my commenters, when I showed this reveal of my haul and I had this figure in there, I didn't know what it was, and he told me that it was the head of Doc. So there's the confirmation right there. Even though the head is really badly painted, whether it was painted before I bought it or something like that, but there it is. There's that confirmation. So I'm going to spend a few minutes getting this figure together, and then I'll do the reveal. So here he is, all repaired. I haven't even said what his name is. It's Rick Hunter. And we fixed a couple things on him. We did his hand right here. And we also did the side of his pants here. Side of his torso that was broken. Painted everything. Everything articulates really, really well. Still really good. Everything is tight except for this arm right here is a little loose, and the swivel arm is a little loose, but that's easy to fix. So he is displayable. Now, I also had Zor Prime here, and, well, all he needed was a little bit of paint here on the toes, so he looks great. These are the 2 that I got from my friend, who is a vendor at a flea market. And then here's my carded one here, the Harmony Gold. I believe these are not Harmony Gold. These are from the 80s. It says that on their butts. And we've got that. So I also picked up, it's weird, I was doing a repair and now I'm doing a pickup video in the same video. But I also picked up these Love Boat figures. We've got Doc. We have Isaac, which I think I might already have, but I'll have to look at my collection and find out where he is. But we've got Isaac, and then we've got Gopher there too. But while I was filming this video, again, I ended up getting something in the mail. Now, here in Canada, we had a postal strike, and this was purchased probably about a month ago, maybe even a month and a half ago. The seller was kind enough to hold on to it until the postal strike was over, and then he sent it to me. He also had a bunch of other stuff, but I wasn't too interested in most of the stuff that he had. He did offer me a comic with it, and I can't believe I have this figure. I am here in Southern Ontario, and I never thought I'd be able to get my hands on an Action Force Desert Rat in the wild. I got it on Marketplace. He was about an hour away, and I didn't feel like driving all that way in the heavy traffic of Toronto. So he was kind enough to mail it to me, and of course he wanted to use Canada Post. So it took a while to get here, but he asked me if I wanted a few things. I said no, but he also asked me if I wanted the Action Force comic. This is Valaverse number 8, Mission Files, Desert Rat, the Oh Bollocks issue. And I believe that is Desert Rat's signature. Of course, his name is not Desert Rat. It's Tony Roberts from Analog Toys. If you're watching my channel, you're probably watching his channel. And if you're not, you should be. I've been a fan of Tony's for a long time. He doesn't really know who I am, I don't think. But it's really cool that I live in Canada and I ended up getting this Action Force signed comic and this Desert Rat signed figure. And I did read the comic. This is issue 8. I think I'd probably be more into the story if I had read maybe the earlier ones, but it's not bad. I've never been a comic reader anyway, so it's not that the book is bad or what I think of it. I just don't care for reading comics. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see here today. And I've got another one coming up really soon. As you saw at the beginning of my video, I've got a lot of projects that are on the go, and I'm hoping I can get most of them done soon. So don't forget to share and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of these figures. Thanks for watching.